So in today's video, I'm going to be doing another review, and today's review is on an EBL 500 watt solar power generator. I'm going to walk around, see just what it can do, see what it can't do. And full disclosure, they did send this unit to me for review, so I'm going to give you my honest and unbiased opinion. So here is the unit. It's an EBL 500 watt multi-purpose power station. Now we're going to power this on. It's at 100%. Now I unboxed this yesterday, and when I started it up, it had 50%. So I hooked it to the solar panels outside, and it took around 4 hours to bring it from 50% to 100%, and that was with partly cloudy conditions. It wasn't full sun the entire time, but it got the job done remarkably well. 4 hours, not too bad. So I'm thinking 7 to 8 hours charge time on this from 0 to 100. Now it does have a bright light on this thing. So let me show you all the outputs on this, starting with the left, moving to the right. I have DC outlets. I have these right here. That's a 14 volt, 8 amp max. This 14 volt, 8 amp. That's like the cigarette lighter style you have in your car. USB, it has 3 USB-A ports and 1 USB-C port and 2 120 volt outlets. Now these are your inputs depending on how you're charging. If you're charging with a wall outlet or your car, it would be here. That is your solar input there. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there was a solar Y fitting that would also go into here too. You could use it either way. The entire thing only weighs about 15 pounds. Now it's rated at 500 watts, but it can surge all the way up to 1,000 watts just momentarily there for just long enough to like start up an electric motor that could pull 1,000 watts or anything like that. But this is basically designed for smaller things, depending, you know, like on top here, that is a wireless cell phone charger. You can charge it that way, or you can use your USB ports. And obviously you can charge up a laptop, a notebook, whatever kind of device you got. This is going to handle that no problem. So obviously it can handle any kind of battery situation where you need to recharge batteries. Now for me, the biggest reason I wanted this, I already had the 2,000 watt to kind of cover me in the event of a storm. This one simply isn't powerful enough to run a freezer or a full-size refrigerator. Now it will run like a mini fridge, just so you're aware of that. Now what I'm going to be using this little unit for, and the sole reason I wanted it, is because I am a content creator and we shoot videos weekly. Everything we have takes batteries. The cameras, the audio, gimbals, you name it, is taking it. Now I'll be able to take this with me, throw it in the car, it can go with me, and in the event we run out of batteries, instead of having to wait to recharge them, I can simply take my power supplies that I have for my cameras. I hardly ever use them because we just use batteries. But in the event my batteries are dead, I can plug up the power supply, boom, my cameras are up and going. I can recharge audio, which I do have spare microphones and such as that. But overall, it's just going to really help me. I can charge my gimbal up with it. You know, anything that takes batteries, and trust me, everything I have, I even have sliders that are battery operated. So all that can now be charged up with this if need be. So I've already told you what I will mainly be using it for, but let's say hurricane comes, power goes down. Well, there's always some sort of structural damage done in these bad hurricanes, and I have lived through some really bad ones. So the first thing I go for is my tools, and I want to make sure all my cordless drills and all that kind of stuff is charged up. This will handle that no problem. All right, so here's the box that it comes in. And so you know, they do make a carrying case for this that's fireproof and waterproof. I don't have the case. I don't really need it though, no big deal. It is 500 watt, 419.4 watt hours. And as it says here, you can charge it from the car, from a wall, or from the solar. Now if you look here, it gives different things, and I've done covered a bunch. Really, this is endless on how much you can do with it. But laptops, TVs, CPAP machine, GoPro, floodlight, mini fridge, drone, smartphone, switch. See, and it shows the average time that it would take and how many charges you can expect with it. So All right, so here's the various cables that came with this. So first, let me show you the cables that's coming from the actual solar panel. This would hook into here when you get ready to charge this. Then these hooked into here, and this one takes it right into the actual solar panel. This is actually attached to the solar panel permanently. So this is just an extension. You can use that one, or you can hook the same cables into this one. You can charge into here using those. And I'm not quite sure what that one is. And like most typical men, I did not read the instructions, so I'll figure that part out later. There is a cable for your car charger, just to charge from your car, and a few adapters as well. Now this is the brick that plugs into your wall outlet to charge it from house power. That's how I would typically do it, unless I'm gone from home, or if we have a power outage or a camping trip or something of that nature. Also comes with two manuals, one for the portable solar panel and one for is a user manual for this itself. The solar panel they sent with this unit is 100 watts. So not a bad little unit at all for an entry level. The price is definitely right on this for what it is. $399, 500 watts of power. You really can't beat that. And I have watched a lot of different videos on YouTube, guys actually taking meters, amp meters, watt meters, and actually running tests to see if it can do or exceed what they claim, and it absolutely can. So there's no really reason for me to delve into all of that. One reason, I don't have the equipment to do it with, so I'm just going to take them at their word. Time will definitely tell how this one holds up. So within this power station is a lithium-ion battery. Lithium-ion battery, think of cell phone when you hear that word. Just think of cell phone, and that's something you use day in, day out. You're constantly cycling, you're constantly charging it. And so a cell phone takes a beating for usually around 3 years before it starts showing signs of the battery depleting. What I mean by that, it can no longer get 100% charge. It can only get like 80% capacity. It might show 100%, but in reality, you're only getting about 80% of what you used to get. So that's what happens to these over time. On an average, from what I read, these are good from 300 to 500 cycles. Not this brand, just lithium ion in general, okay? Not this brand, any of them. And that could take literally years, depending on how often you use it. If you're reserving this for emergencies only, or vacation trips and things like that, you could literally get decades out of this. But if you're using it on a day-to-day basis, it's gonna be like a cell phone. Your time is going to be shortened on how long this will last. It could be as short as 2 to 3 years, or as long as decades, depending on your use. Now my other power station, a 2000 watt, that uses a lithium iron phosphate battery, which is way heavier. They're really heavy, but they have a really long life expectancy on those. And that's the reason I'm reserving that particular one just for hurricanes and power outages. If you go to look at these power stations, you can get some that really have a lot of wattage coming out of them. Plus you're able to bank them into other batteries and multiply that and things like that. Those are more heavy duty, built to do a lot more than what this one is. This one was built with specific things in mind, and I've showed you what I'm going to be using it for. And in today's world, I think everybody could find a use for that. If you're interested in it, I'll have a link in the description box. And I'm going to be doing more review videos in the near future. Then we're going to try to get back this fall and winter into more cooking videos. So I hope y'all stay tuned to all that. I'm Russ Jones with Smoky Ribs Barbecue.